There is a real correlation between pornography and actual crimes. Sorry, revsaysdesu. Sorry, very anime sugoi kawaii desune. There is a real correlation between pornography and actual crimes. I thought it was a overarching agreement that child pornography is wrong and any form of child pornography is wrong. But obviously, I'm wrong. And I just want to make a video today in response to Rev's video of me, because what they posted is completely and totally ridiculous. They took only the baitable parts of my video that they could answer to. I understand that, like, you know, you don't want anime to go away, you don't want manga to go away. Obviously, I don't either. But it should not be freely available to buy in Japan, child pornography. And that's what I said in the video. And I don't understand why they took me so out of context on that. So let's go check this video out together. And do you know what? Genuinely, I wouldn't mind. But I actually used to watch this dude's videos. Like, I've played some of their videos on stream before because I think when they were talking about gaming and stuff, they had a point. Like, we watched one of their videos where they were talking about the devs from Veilguard. Thank you so much. Yeah, we watched this video on, like, Dragon Age Veilguard. And I thought they had some good points. But apparently, I don't have any good points. And if you're going to come for me, I'm going to come with receipts. So let's get in and see what this person had to say about me.
Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So today we're going to be talking about a video that's making the rounds on social media for all the wrong reasons. It comes from a channel titled Catastrophic Claire Rar. Yes, very Rar XD, Quirk Chungus, Hot Topic, etc, etc.
Man, don't come for me about my name when your Twitch name is literally Rev Uwu. Sorry, revsaysdesu. Sorry, very anime sugoi kawaii desune. Miku caramel dancing. They're the judge on what makes a good name, I guess. But anyway.
But the video people are talking about is her latest one titled, Japan Wants to Censor Anime, Asmongold Reaction. Now, in this video, not only does she call out Asmongold, but she also calls out the entire anime and manga industry as...
No, I don't. I don't call out the whole anime and manga industry. I called out the exploitation of child pornography in the anime and manga industry, but okay.
As well as Japanese society, which according to her is so predatory and dangerous, pretty much no woman is safe in Japan.
I didn't say that no woman is safe in Japan. I said that exploitation of women makes it more unsafe to exist in a society that indulges in so much of it, but okay.
One of the clips she posted herself.
Just so I'll say, this person doesn't have very good reading comprehension, so if you'd like to read the top of the post first, where it says, the UN doesn't want to censor normal anime. They want to censor child pornography and the exploitation of women, which is fair. You could read the top first, but okay. And I love how he's coming for my Twitter post when I have a full video on this, explaining in more detail, when this is just a snippet of 1 minute 30 seconds when there was a 5-minute video, but, you know, pop off.
On a Twitter, but let's give it a listen.
But in 2024, it's still legal to own anime and manga child pornography. And he also skipped, he also didn't show in the video where I said until 2014, it was legal to own real child pornography in Japan. Like, I showed you the link for that. I'll post the link for that if I post this on YouTube as well. But just let that sit in. Until 10 years ago, it was legal in Japan to possess real child pornography. And then in 2015, after the Japanese government banned real child pornography, the UN pushed for a blanket ban on anime and manga child pornography as well. Back in 2015, like, you know, the way this person said that the UN has been going after Japan for many years for this? Yes, They've been going after them for many years to get rid of the distribution and sale, legal sale of child pornography, be it real children or animated. Let me tell you, it is a booming industry. It is.
So as always, I think there's some...
And it is a booming industry. If this person had watched my full video on YouTube, it was on YouTube where I showed on Pornhub for the past, 7-8 years, the top categories have been hentai and Japanese.
Something very disturbing about likening real-life victimization to manga panels, but...
This person probably doesn't go outside a lot, but there is a real correlation between pornography and actual crimes. There doesn't have to be a dispute about that because I brought receipts. So I dropped the link to this article. It's from the government UK and the perpetration of sexual aggression. So it says here, use of violent pornography and prior exposure to parental spousal abuse were the two strongest predictors of a first sexual violent act. The use of violent and degrading pornography was also found to be significantly associated with reduced self-reported willingness to intervene in potential act of sexual violence. So that is from the UK government. I don't even want to show you the case because I don't think I'm allowed to show you the case. But if you look up Tsutomu Miyazaki, he was known as the otaku killer in Japan. And he unalived 4 young girls. The youngest girl that he unalived and raped was 5 years old. And when they broke into his apartment in Japan and they found the decomposing bodies, they also found a slew of hentai and child pornography. So, yes, sociologists and psychologists agree that there is a direct correlation between violent pornography and actual crimes. I'm just trying to show you that this person has absolutely no clue what they're talking about.
As always, if you don't like certain aspects of anime or manga or just fictional content generally, that's okay. That's your prerogative. You're allowed to not like things, but it doesn't justify you demonizing and attacking an entire nation of people as well as...
I'm sorry, but at what point did I demonize or attack an entire nation? You wouldn't say that's an explosive insinuation again, which he keeps doing in this. It's just rage baiting. He just keeps throwing words out there to make me look like a bad person, but he has absolutely nothing to back it up. Since those glasses are just for aesthetic on the VTuber's face, in the background of the video that he's watching of me, you can clearly see that there is manga back there. I love manga. I love anime. I have always. But I also think that child pornography is wrong and children should not be exploited. Let it be fictional or non-fictional.
The related mediums. And on top of that, if you're going to create this standard for other people where in the video she says if a character's under 18 and sexualized, that's CP. Well, that standard's not going to just be applied to the people you're attacking. It's also going to be applied to yourself. And if you look through her Twitter account, I mean, you have characters like this from Sailor Moon.
Do you want to know the funny thing? This dude had to go back. I love how they're not showing the date of my tweet, but this dude had to go back 3 years. And that's kind of wild that you couldn't find anything incriminating enough on me in the last 3 years to try and drag me out onto your YouTube page for. But you find a picture of me using a AI filter on myself.
This character's 16 years old. She made...
Which character is 16 years old? It clearly you can't read. It gives us all the chance to live our anime dreams. This is a picture of me. I will show you that it's a picture of me. This is the picture of me that I put the AI filter on top of. And since this person has like an anime character, you kind of think they'd know what Sailor Moon looks like. Like, can we all agree that my picture looks nothing like Sailor Moon? And just because you wear a filter doesn't mean that you're portraying an underage girl. It's a picture of me. Obviously, this person hasn't seen Sailor Moon, and I really recommend you watch Sailor Moon. I got them all back there. All of them. The full collection.
AI generated art with obviously some sexual aspects to it.
Yeah, I'm 29 years old. I can sexualize myself if I want to. Let's be honest.
With the hashtag booba, and she would do that again, same character with...
This person can't read. This is actually me with an AI filter. That is obviously me, but he literally is just looking for something to just hold on to, because there is nothing here that's going to say that I'm Sailor Moon. I'm obviously my own character, if any character. Yeah, he's really grasping at straws here. I don't know, but let's continue. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Thighs, posting this that she created with AI as well. That would make her a hypocrite under her own standards. On top of
How am I a hypocrite?
that, she's a big evangelion.
He also had to go back 3 years for this post as well. 3 or 2 years. I don't remember when the Acer and Evangelion first collaboration came out, but there's been a second collaboration since then. And if anyone here knows me or my stream, you know that I completely hate any Evangelion after the first season, before they started weirdly actualizing the characters. Like, the first season is fine. It's just a normal, fun, bit traumatizing mecha anime. If you've seen it, you know, you can call me out if there is explicit child pornography in it, because I can't remember there being explicit child pornography in it. Not like the movies, which are disgusting, and the opening scene of the movie is just rotten. The first season is fine, and then it went off the rail. But this dude is literally grasping at straws. He's coming at me for a computer. He's coming at me for liking a computer. So you can see that this guy has a strong case against me and calling me a hypocrite.
Her clip here.
You can literally go nearly to any massive manga stores and areas in the major cities in Japan, and you will find areas of that manga store that is specifically for Lolita characters.
So this is a very simple point, but it's definitely always worth making. If she considers this stuff in the background to be CP, by her own standard, she downloaded it, probably uncensored, and then posted it for thousands of people to see online. By her own standard, she just downloaded and then redistributed CP.
This actually is just insane, because it's obvious that I'm trying to show that this is widely available in Japan. I made a comment saying that you can buy child pornography and exploitive women manga in nearly any city in Japan in major manga stores, and then I brought receipts to show Western people that this is true. You can find it anywhere. And yet I'm the bad person for bringing light to this disgusting issue. Like, the most terrible part about this is this person has such a massive audience. Like, there's 150k people who've seen this video of me. I don't want this to happen. I want this to stop. This is not okay. That's why I showed it. That's why I censored it. So that you can see that you can buy this stuff off the street in Japan. But they're taking the other side and literally defending this nearly, which is crazy that this dude just thinks that it's okay to, like, you are literally defending predators. It's so weird. Why did I delete the video on my YouTube channel then? Because I didn't want the hate that I was receiving, and I didn't delete it. I privated it because I don't want anyone to be bullied. I don't like people being bullied online. At the start of the stream, I said that being online in 2024 is toxic, it's cruel, and it's not a nice place. And if anyone else wanted to private their videos because they got a hate train sent to them, go ahead. Because you don't want to have to look at that for your own mental health. I don't want to look at that for my mental health. Protect your mental health. And you don't have to leave it up. It doesn't mean that I'm any less of a content creator or a streamer or a YouTuber because I took a video down because someone was bullying me and sent a raid of bullies to me.
Like, are you crazy in your mind or something? Like, why would you ever think this is okay while you're demonizing it at the same time? It's just,
I'm showing how bad it is. I don't understand how this person's comprehension skills are this low, this dense, that they can't see that showing this is bringing light to the situation. Are you saying that all journalists that report on this are also CP predators? Where's your angle on this? All journalists that report on anything that's disgusting and needs to be brought to light in different parts of the world is wrong.
it just shows how stupid all these arguments are and how hypocritical all these people are.
Characters. And Lolita, if you don't know what that means, it means young girl. And
it literally just means like cute fashion, by the way.
Oh! Oh my god! That was the nail in the coffin for me. This dude has no idea what they're talking about. This dude has no idea because Lolita literally is a term that is coined for child pornography since the 1950s. It's literally a 2-word Google search. Lolita, meaning precautiously seductive. Lolita is an English language term, defining a young girl as precautiously seductive. It originates from Vladimir Nabokov's 1955 novel Lolita, which portrays the narrator Humbert's sexual obsession with and the victimization of a 12-year-old girl, whom he privately calls Lolita. Just say you don't know what you're talking about, because it's a lot easier to just put, rage bait in front of people when you have such a big audience of people that will support you. But you have no idea what you're talking about. This is the problem that the UN wants them to address. Honestly, I don't care if the character is over 18. If the character is over 18, I'm just going to be like, cool, yeah, whatever you're into, man. If you want to look at that, that's cool. But not children. And myself and Timmy literally say this all the time. We say, Dandaran is a good anime. It's really good. And it will be just so much better if the characters in it were 21. You can have literally the exact same story if they were 21. Because that's kind of weird that we're actualizing underage kids. Just make them all 20. Just make them adults. My Hero Academia. Just put them in university. Just have them go through high school and then go to university to be superheroes. Because then it's not weird that you have 14 and 15-year-old girls with massive chests out. It's so strange. That is so up.
So she's trying to basically mask what the UN is doing. She's saying this is all about protecting kids and it's only targeting...
It's about protecting women and children.
The specific types of characters she's talking about, but that's a gross misrepresentation of what they're trying to do at the UN.
Please just take the time to read this article right now from the UN, from the 2015 conference, that they said they only want child pornography to be stopped. That's all they're asking for, and to stop putting lucrative businesses in front of child pornography, be it real child pornography or animated. Please just read it.
So here's what they're actually doing. They've been targeting Japan.
So the post he's showing is from a Japanese dude who's in the government, and he kind of works mostly in the censorship department of the Japanese government. Hold on to your hats that a dude is trying to save the hentai underage corn.
Japan for many, many years, and they can't really explain why they're singling out Japan in the first place. But anyways, this is what they're talking about with some of these pushes that the United Nations are doing. The final observation expressed concern that pornography, video games, manga, and other animated products may promote...
I'll just go back a little bit. What they're reading from is the report from the UN and what the UN wants the Japanese government to do. I'll just go back.
Expressed concern that pornography, video games, manga, and other animated products may promote gender and sexual orientation-based violence against women and girls, and recommended that existing legal measures and monitoring programs be effectively implemented to address the production and distribution of pornography, video games, and animated products that promote discriminatory gender stereotypes and reinforce sexual violence against women and girls.
That's pretty straightforward.
So it's not just these specific young characters she's talking about. It's anything
But
that promotes discriminatory gender stereotypes, whatever the hell that means. And
this person just hears a buzzword, gender, and they go, boom! Rage bait, rage bait. Anything to do with gender is rage bait. Yeah, they just mean girls. They just mean girls. They just, when they're talking about gender stereotypes, they're talking about female gender stereotypes. I don't understand why he's having a problem. Like, can he not, like, I'll read it back to you. So, from where he started reading, the final observation expressed concern that pornography, video games, manga, and other animated products may promote gender and sexual orientation-based violence against women and girls. So hentai games, hentai manga, and other animated products may promote gender and or sexual orientation-based violence against women and children. Like, we all know there's anime games just as much as there's anime, and there's games that exploit girls and women, and you can exploit them in said games. We've all seen the anime dating games. Like, I don't understand why he's having a problem understanding that. I'm trying to read it out for them properly. Existing legal measures and monitoring programs be effectively implemented. So what that means is they want legal measures put in place in order to stop games like these and the promotion of the exploitation of underage children and women. That's pretty straightforward. We have that nearly in every country in the first world. It's something that, you know, Japan should get on top of, right? Law-abiding, well-rounded citizen who's watching me right now. We can all get behind that, right? Existing legal measures and monitoring programs be effectively implemented to address the production and distribution of pornography, video games, and animated products that promote discrimination, gender stereotypes, and reinforce sexual violence against women and girls. It's not rocket science. Those glasses, as I keep saying, they're definitely just there for aesthetic because you're not using them and you're not using your brain either to read this. Just to protect children. Wow. But okay.
without any sort of research or basis to make these claims, they say that...
Wait, who doesn't have any research or basis to make these claims? Because I didn't post this. Are you saying the UN doesn't have any research or basis to make these claims? That's an extremely wild thing to say, yo. I'm shocked if you actually think that the UN doesn't have basis to make these claims and there isn't articles and journalists across Japan and across the world releasing articles on this and writing, theses. Like, the internet is free, yo. You can use it because you haven't done any research on this topic, yet you're talking about it so freely. And that's the crazy thing to me. Like, people in 2024, they shoot before realizing what they're doing. They put up content and they have no idea what they're talking about. It's actually crazy that this dude just put this online and just didn't do any research, and then people are just blindly following him.
These things in fictional content are somehow leading to real life abuse. These people are basically just a repackaging of 90s soccer moms who used to say violent video games make violent people, right?
Violent video games do make violent people. You're literally from the US. Like, I'm not trying to bring this back to school shootings, but like, aren't you the only country in the world that suffers as a result of school shootings? And don't they say that there is like a link between violent video games and school shootings in America? Like, what?
It's the same argument. It's just so woke, it's backwards. And now we're having people trying to justify these connections between anime, manga, and what have you to predatory behavior And the only thing they're working on is their own emotions. They have no actual proof of anything. And looking at the standard about promoting discriminatory gender stereotypes, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is the kind of stuff they're talking about. This is one of her own posts from very recently. I mean, look at not only the character that would probably fall under these United Nations standards.
I don't know about you, but I know what a grown woman's body looks like. And I can tell you, that is not a child. Like, even if you're not on my side here, that's not a child. That's a grown woman. And I did say that if they're over 18, that's totally fine. That's nothing to do with actual violence at all. That's a strong woman portrayed in that picture. I know you'll probably see them a lot.
Here, but also the hashtags, I just gotta put out hashtag gooner, hashtag goon, hashtag.
Yeah, I can use whatever hashtags I want. I'm a 29-year-old woman.
Degen. Very interesting stuff. But let's talk about the UN for a second. So I can't imagine bootlicking the United Nations. It couldn't be me. They are pretty much what is the equivalent of an international criminal organization. What else do you describe them as? So even some of the top children's rights officials in the United Nations have been jailed for charges relating to the abuse of children. In fact, there are endless articles you can find that are just so beyond disturbing. Report finds UN employs 3,300 predators responsible for 60,000 R words in the last 10 years. Here's another one saying UN peacekeepers ran a child S-ring in Haiti, and it goes on and on and on. Like, they are
and that is terrible. I'm not saying that that's not terrible, that that's not disgusting. We're not saying that this isn't disgusting and this isn't deplorable. But you can't blame an entire group for bad people that are inside an organization and take advantage and exploit their power. Exploitation of power happens all around the world, in every government, in every large organization. It always happens. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure this dude is a Republican voter in the States, because I saw their Twitter and they were happy that Donald Trump came in. Like, he is a felon. Like, he has charges. He's literally a felon. But that doesn't mean that everyone in the United States is a felon. That is the man who represents you on a national and international stage. So if we're painting everyone in an organization with the same brush, then I guess every person in America is a felon. If we're going by what your standards is, which is completely untrue. So you can't. And that's not to say that I care about Donald Trump or Kamala. I don't take sides on that. My point is, there's bad apples everywhere, but you can't blame an organization for the bad apples that are inside it. You can only hope that they'll fix it and that they want to fix things.
Genuinely a very dangerous organization, and you have to rely on their word and what they're trying to do to justify banning anime and manga. Like, these people are
they don't want to ban anime and manga. They want to ban child pornography. I said it at the start in 2014 that they banned real child pornography in Japan, and in 2015 the UN asked them to blanket ban as well child pornography in anime and manga, and specifically hentai, and they voted no in the Japanese government.
Are not to be trusted whatsoever. But she continues on here.
And that's what the UN wants them to address, because it's actually scary being a woman in Japan. They literally have specific train carriages that women can take to not share carriages with men during busy travel times, so that they don't get sexually abused or touched inappropriately or have pictures of their upskirts taken just trying to get home from work.
So this pretty much is where it always ends up, right? So it begins with, I don't like this anime and manga, blah, 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 blah. And then it turns into,
I gave proof of correlation between actual violence and hentai at the start of this. So what?
just, well, I mean, what else do you call it? Racism. they're basically trying to imply that the entire nation of Japan is so predatory that no woman is safe in that country. And it's an
Genuinely, this person should be a politician, because the rage bait and the exploitative language and insinuation that they use, they would be great on a stage. I swear to God, they'd fit right in. This is actually crazy that I'm being called a racist for this. And I'm being called a racist for highlighting predatory facts that happen in Japan. Is it not truth that in Japan there are trains for women to ride just with other women because of the sexual crimes that have happened so often on train journeys? Yes, it is a non-disputable fact. It's not racist. And to call it racist is to put me behind a wall and to belittle Japanese women and the struggle that they go through on a daily basis. And, you know, since you don't like to come with facts, Rev, I've come with facts. This is an article from Japan. Like, you might say, like, you know, oh, she just has English articles here. She doesn't have any in Japanese. For anyone who doesn't know, I have a degree in Japanese. Just to be sure. There's my degree. Bachelor of Business Studies with Japanese. I'm obviously not going to dox myself, but you do 2 degrees. I have 1 degree in Japanese and culture studies, and I have another degree in business, specifically insurance and risk management with law. I came with receipts. Since obviously you don't have to take my word for this, I translated it over on Google Images, and this is what it says, because if I didn't translate it on Google Images, you'd have to just take my word saying that this is what it means, but this is clearly what it means. I was actually harassed and molested, but I didn't consult anyone. Approximately 40%. 40% of victims are under the age of 10. 40% of victims in Japan of sexual assault and molestation are under the age of 10. Just let that sink in for a second. That's disgusting. That's deplorable. That I have to bring receipts for that. And how disgusting it is. Further on, you can read the article if you want. I'll post it on YouTube when I post this video. The article is here, and you can translate it into Google, which I do hope, if the Rev does watch this, that they do educate themselves and translate this into English as well. It breaks down in the article, especially at this part, the percentage of sexual abuse victims and where the abuse happened. But there's this thing in Japan, and in Japanese it's called chikan. And chikan is when you are actually assaulted on a train. And it's also the word for the person who perpetrates this crime. They're called chikan. And since I obviously know nothing, I had to come with receipts. So this is another Japanese survey, and it says, survey in Japan finds 1 in 10 young people have suffered molestation offenses. This one is from a study of 16 to 29-year-olds. And it breaks down, you know, where it happened. Oh, look! On the train. This is also from nippon.com, your doorway to Japan. It is a Japanese site. Apparently I'm racist though, and I don't know what I'm talking about. So, reporting the incident, 84% of people didn't report the incident. And when they were asked for the reasons as to why they didn't notify the police, 44% said we didn't want to turn it into a serious matter, and 38% felt it wasn't important enough to report. And that's really sad. Like that's just really sad that they felt like they couldn't report this to the police. And that's kind of a cultural problem. But what would I know? I didn't come with any facts.
Absolutely outrageous thing to say. Yes, there are sex crimes in Japan, just like there are throughout the entire world, but it doesn't make Japan unique in any sort of a way. And the only
it makes Japan unique in the form of crimes that it has as a result of its unique culture towards anime and manga.
Justification this person has is because...
Oh, and also it makes it unique that the laws in Japan around censorship protect child pornography in the form of anime and manga. It's protected child pornography. And this is the problem. That's why it's unique.
Because they produce anime and manga, which that somehow makes them special. I mean, of course,
it makes them unique, and it makes it unique. And the laws that they are protected under is unique.
Reported sex crimes are sometimes a misleading number because people just don't report that they're victimized. But this person's from Ireland, trying to be a white savior and wagging their finger at Japan. Look at the rates at Ireland versus Japan.
And you can say, sure, yeah, he got me there. The rates in Japan are low, guys. But, as I said, I have a law degree. And laws differ in every country. How laws are written in different countries are different. And laws sometimes protect different people differently in different countries. And the way that the laws around rape and sexual harassment and crimes are written in Japan are written so strangely. And I have another article. Do you know what? I just have loads of articles, lads. I'm great for this, like. So, I have another article over here. So this article focuses on the crime of or to call into question the conventional wisdom about public safety in Japan and to show the serious acts of sexual violence are seldom subject to legal control. You can read this. I will also post this on YouTube. I will post this. It goes on here, the rates. So the first difference, societies define R differently. It is defined differently depending on the law that is written in said countries. Second, R rates can be expressed with different indicators, from the numbers of offences known to or recorded by police to the number of arrests or the prosecutions or convictions or incarcerations. It depends how it's worded. Then that will result in what is noted. To compare R rates that use different indicators is to compare apples and bananas. You are comparing two different laws from two different countries, and how people are protected in different countries is drastic. And also, I would also like to say that this person is coming from me and saying that I should be talking about my own country. Like, it's disgusting that the rate in Ireland is so high. Genuinely, it's deplorable. But a lot more people come forward because this person fails to read out stuff when they give their points on the matter. But as you can see here, it says reported annual grapes per 100,000. The most important word in that little sentence is reported, because as we saw in the survey of Japanese people 16 to 29, 84% did not report the incident because there isn't a culture of reporting it, because they either didn't want to turn it into a serious matter, so they were probably afraid, God love them, or embarrassed, God love them, or felt it wasn't important enough to report, which is really sad that they felt this way. But in Ireland, we have a different societal and cultural standard when it comes to these things. And even after what happened in court in Dublin last week when it came to Conor McGregor, there was an increase in 20% of calls to the rape crisis centres in Ireland. And I know that's not a good thing, but it means more people felt comfortable to report the crimes that they had unfortunately suffered. That's the thing. Like, as I said, this dude is comparing apples and oranges, and he's trying to make me look like a bad person throughout this video. And he hasn't had actually anything on me. I have met every single one of the things that he said to me with a rebuttal. Yeah, this person seriously needs to do some research before he comes out here and tries to rage bait people, because the only thing he's done has made himself look like an uneducated fool. Just to be fair, like, he doesn't know anything that he's talking about and is just rage baiting for views on YouTube. It's sad, really.
Again, reports aren't the most reliable thing, but I think maybe, just maybe, you should sit this conversation out. But let's wrap this up here. One more quote I want you guys to listen to.
And I think if you're a real person with a real conscience, and your heart goes out to the women of Japan who have to put up with these men, then you should be on the side of UN for them to be more censored and not allow for this to happen.
No words, ladies and
No, there really is no words. The echo chamber is so loud in your community. It's scary that you're allowed to just put up this blatant rage bait journalism that is factless.
gentlemen. You have to take the side of the UN here and ban this anime and manga. Otherwise,
I didn't say to ban all anime and manga. I'm going to keep saying it. I didn't say that. I said, just as the UN said, the banning of child pornography and the exploitation of children and women inside pornographic anime, manga, and video games.
you just don't care about women. I guess that's the route we're going with this one. This is insane. Also, I think her mind would explode if she found out that a very large portion of hentai artists are women. So, like, what are we... it's all just men?
Women can also be child molesters. I think we're all aware of that. Sorry if I perpetuated a stereotype. I do know that women can also be child molesters and pedophiles. We're aware of that. But we do know the majority of them are male, statistically.
This went from, I don't like anime and manga, to there's a big...
At no point did I say that I didn't like anime and manga. You better take out your double-seeing glasses, my man, and shine them up, because you can see loads of anime, or loads of manga behind me.
Big predatory problem in Japan, and also Japanese men are somehow uniquely dangerous. I mean, that's how far it went. All you had to do was say, I don't like these things in certain anime and manga, I'm just going to avoid them. But no, it
I did say that.
goes to this level, and it always does for some reason. But that's going to do it for this video. I thought this was pretty insane, so I wanted to...
I just want to see, did he put, like, anything in here? Oh, he threw his merch in there. But, no. He didn't put anything to, like, cite himself or anything that he said. But don't worry. Don't worry. I'll have loads of citation in mine. And Rev, you could have a lot of reading to do at the end of this. But honestly, my whole thing is, like, look, even since we've watched this video in the past, hour that I've been spewing on this.
Hey, what's up, guys?
This video has gotten 153k views. Just because I don't have a platform on YouTube doesn't mean that I'm not going to use my platform on TikTok or Instagram or my small platform on Twitter to post these videos and to fact check you for all of the absolute nonsense you've been saying. You are the definition of a cornball, rage-baiting, toxic, no-proof journalist. You couldn't even call yourself a journalist. You're just a rage baiter. You don't have anything to back yourself up with, and it's genuinely just disgusting that you stand behind these predators and you think that you can justify it by saying that, I'm wrong and they're going to get rid of all anime and manga, when a 20-minute search on Google and research would show you that no, they're not going to get rid of all anime and manga. They're not. They're just going to hopefully get rid of the pornography and the exploitation of children.